Hello, thank you for joining with me. We are in A Course in Miracles workbook for students, part 2 of the workbook, lesson 275. We are in section 6, What is the Christ? Please listen to my YouTube video or the commentary video or read the section 6, What is the Christ? Lesson 275, God's healing voice protects all things today. Let us today attend the voice of God, which speaks an ancient lesson, no more true today than any other day. Yet has this day been chosen as the time when we will seek and hear and learn and understand. Join me in hearing. For the voice of God tells us of things we cannot understand alone, nor learn apart. It is in this that all things are protected, and in this the healing of the voice of God is found. Footnote 82. God's voice heals and protects, in other words, because his messages by their very nature affirm unity, in that they can only be understood by those who are joined together. Your healing voice protects all things today, and so I leave all things to you. I need be anxious over nothing. Footnote 83. Matthew 6:25. Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you shall eat or what you shall drink, nor about your body, what you shall put on. In the above passage, we need be anxious over nothing because the Holy Spirit will direct all of our behavior, telling us who to bring his message to and how to bring it. Being anxious over nothing may well include not being anxious over our earthly needs, since that is the focus of the Bible passage, and since other course passages speak of our earthly needs being taken care of once we devote ourselves single-mindedly to our function as God's messengers. See, for instance, the text, chapter 20, section 4, which alludes to the same speech in the Bible. You need take thought for nothing, careless of everything except the only purpose that you would fulfill. For your voice will tell me what to do and where to go, to whom to speak and what to say to him, what thoughts to think, what words to give the world. The safety that I bring is given me. Father, your voice protects all things through me. Footnote 84. This means that I bring protection to others by letting the voice of God tell me what to do for them and what to say to them. This brings safety to them. This brings safety to them, and the safety I give them is then given to me. And now please join me for the commentary by Alan Watson for lesson 275, God's healing voice protects all things today. Jesus tells us in this lesson that we need to join him in hearing the voice for God. For the voice for God tells us of things we cannot understand alone, nor learn apart. Notice that the joining Jesus urges on us here is not primarily with one another, with other people, although that is certainly implied. It is joining with him that is called for. If the problem is a belief in the reality of separation, that problem cannot be healed alone and apart. Being alone and apart is the problem. Any healing, any salvation, any enlightenment that the voice for God brings to us will be something that is shared. I can join with Jesus in hearing the voice for God. That is something I can do now in the privacy of my own home with no other people around. What I hear, which is always some form of the message God's Son is innocent, is something that applies to Jesus as well as to me, and to me as well as to Jesus. I share it with him. Peace, safety, and protection come in letting go of any mental defenses I have against Jesus and allowing His presence to be with me. I own and acknowledge that Jesus and I share a common goal and common interests. I see that He has no attack in His heart toward me, and I have none toward Him. It is in this joining that all things are protected. As I move out into the world to meet with other people, I can extend what I have found in Jesus' presence to everyone I meet. What He and I have heard together is shared not only between the two of us, but also with the Son of God and everyone. I hear the Father's healing voice, and it protects all things so that I need be anxious over nothing. All beings share this common interest and common goal. We are all in the world for this one purpose. Any perception of competition or attack on my part or on the part of another is merely a mistake in perception and is not anything to be afraid of. The safety that I bring is given me. I bring safety from my companionship with Jesus to the world, and as I give it, it is given to me. Everyone I meet is safe with me today. I can say, and I am safe with everyone I meet. Each encounter is holy because I am holy. When the purpose of the day is thus set as it begins, I can be sure of full direction. We will be given very specific directions for our activity here within this world, even if the world is only an illusion. For your voice will tell me what to do and where to go, to whom to speak and what to say to him, what thoughts to think, what words to give the world. It is a healing voice I hear, a healing that consists in sharing, in joining, in having no separate interests. The joining is the healing. The healing of God's Son is what the world is for. And the healing of God's Son in myself and everyone I meet is what this day is for, nothing else. Let today be a day when I especially listen for the voice. Let me seek and hear and learn and understand. Alan Watts wrote a book called The Wisdom of Insecurity. As I remember, it speaks about how seeking security is unwise because security for the ego and the body is simply not possible. If you are constantly seeking security, you will drive yourself nuts. It is much better and wiser to accept the fact of insecurity and to simply go with the flow of the universe. When this lesson speaks of how listening to the voice protects all things, it is really saying the same thing. We recognize that we don't know the answer. We can't figure everything out. We don't know what to do and where to go, to whom to speak and what to say to him, what thoughts to think, what words to give the world. But He does. Instead of constantly trying to acquire the answers for ourselves, we stay in relationship with the answer Himself, the one who does know. Instead of having millions of our own in the bank, we trust that what we need will be given as we need it, and don't worry about it. We leave the running of the universe in God's hands. Our safety and protection is not something that resides in us alone and apart. It comes only from listening to the voice moment to moment. We don't know the road to heaven, but we walk with one who does. And if you'll please close your eyes, and I will lead us into the meditation for this lesson. God's healing voice protects all things today. Your healing voice protects all things today, and so I leave all things to you. I need be anxious over nothing, for your voice will tell me what to do and where to go, to whom to speak and what to say to him, what thoughts to think, what words to give the world. The safety that I bring is given me. Father, your voice protects all things through me. God's healing voice protects all things today. Thank you so much for joining with me in this meditation of Lesson 275. God's healing voice protects all things today. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining with me.